Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Erby? Here. Councilmember Page?
Here.
Councilmember Wassinger? Here. Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Here.
Councilmember O'Leary? Councilmember Harder?
Here.
Mr. Vice Chair, we have a quorum.
Is there a motion for approval of the journal?
I move for approval of the journal of the meeting of January 5th, 2016.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Journal is approved. Bid openings?
We have no bid openings this evening, Mr. Vice Chair. We also have no tax compromises, zoning matters, or road and bridge matters, so we'll move to other communications. Under other communications, item number 1, all districts.
Receive, file, and the county council will be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation, and the approved assessment and maintenance plan be forwarded to the State Tax Commission as requested, and that will be the order. No motion required.
Pardon?
Oh, I thought it was a motion.
Let's see, receive and file, number 2.
Number 2, all districts.
Receive and file, and same motion for item number 4, and that will be the order.
Item number 5, first district.
See, filing agreement be approved as recommended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item number 6, sixth district.
Ask if anybody's opposed on this.
I don't allow opposition, but I'll do it.
Receive, file, and the agreement be approved as recommended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 7, fourth district.
Receive, file, and the change of managing officer be approved as requested.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 8, first district.
You see, what is it?
The
Nothing
resolution.
there.
Would you like to say anything about your resolution?
It's a resolution for April.
Oh, just, receive and file. Is that what it is?
Receive, file, and the attorney, and the county council will be
Request
directed to
legislation.
prepare the appropriate legislation.
Okay, thank you.
So ordered.
Sorry. I put my chief notes on there and I get off track.
Item number 9, fourth district.
Receive, file, and the change of managing officer be approved as requested.
Is there a second?
Second, I'm sorry, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
April Simpson.
Motion carries.
Item number 10, all districts.
Receive and file, and that will be the order.
Item number 11, second district.
Receive and file, and the agreement be approved as recommended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 12.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation, same motion through item number 13, and that will be the order.
Item number 14.
Receive and file, and that will be the order.
Item number 15.
Receive and file, and the appointment be approved as requested.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Please read the add-ons.
Item number 1, fourth district.
Receive, file, and the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
And that will be the order. County Executive, can you report?
Nothing further this evening.
There are no reports of special committees this evening. We'll move to the public forum.
Yes, 6 speakers this evening, Mr. Vice Chair.
We'll call your name. Please come up to make your comments. Limit your comments to 3 minutes, please. First speaker.
First speaker this evening is Wendy Lometa.
Good evening, County Council and County Executive Stanger. Thank you for listening to me this evening. I've been here before in speaking regarding the Bridgeton and Westlake landfill issues in northwest St. Louis County. There are chemical, radioactive, and fire hazards that have been going on there illegally due to the billionaire businesses' lack of using best practices to follow their own guidelines, and that is what has initiated this illegal fryer to pollute the air and water of St. Louis for the last 5 years. The continued license renewal is a blatant disservice to the human rights violations of clean air and water that are meant to protect human health and the environment, and we need to hold those criminals accountable for the crimes that they are currently committing. Current data constructs from the Department of Health do not take children's chronic ionizing exposure into consideration. Unless you know a quantitative amount, you should operate under the assumption that it is harmful, not that it hasn't been determined how harmful it is. The fact is that there is no safe level of chronic ionizing radiation exposure that will not cause preventable disease. When experts say that background levels are no different than the area, instead of saying that everything is safe, that is semantics and environmental law meant to hurt people. I'd like to plead to the council again, if there's any way, something other than public speaking and something in terms of action from the county council regarding the license suspension of Republic Services and their waste management hauling in St. Louis County. I think that is a step in the right direction regarding people not having their air and water polluted at no fault of their own. The end.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Andrew Kuhn.
Good evening. Happy New Year. Thank you for your time this evening. Last year, I presented the council with requests on behalf of the people of North County, St. Louis, and the Missouri Accountability Project. Moving forward into 2016, we request the council establish a citizen review board on decisions made by the council regarding Bridgeton Westlake, including amendments made to the St. Louis County Emergency Evacuation Plan. This review board could operate similarly to the Ferguson Commission, making policy recommendations and establishing dialogue between the community and our officials. To further the work done in good faith by St. Louis County, to enact policy changes recommended by the Ferguson Commission, to improve the living conditions of African American families, many of whom in neighboring properties suffering latent effects of chronic ionizing radiation. We encourage the council to transparently hold the responsible parties accountable to the damage they've caused our region. We would also strongly urge the council to discontinue operating permits to St. Republic Services until they come into full compliance with county, state, and federal laws regarding emissions and groundwater contamination. We must hold this corporation financially responsible for disregarding social and environmental costs when taking account of their ledgers. I would also like to encourage Dr. Khan and the council to engage a cohort study with St. Charles County to investigate the reported elevated levels of childhood leukemia in St. Charles County in an effort to curb preventable disease. As always, thank you for your time, and we await your response.
Next speaker is Abir Moton.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Abir Moton, and I am homeless, and I'm also the founder of Global Bridge to the Future Fusion for Life Foundation. Before I start, I want to let you know that I love my kids, and I have a problem with Family Court Commissioner Terry Weiss. He's not letting me see my kids. He's conducting and playing games for an illegal covert operation of retaliation and reprisal he shouldn't be doing. He has cops, undercover cops, Glendine Clark and Christopher Johnson Clark and other people follow me and harass me and taint my air, food, masturbate in front of me, do all kinds of things, especially inside shelters such as the Family Haven Salvation Army that's located on West Page. Now, Glendine Clark is a relative of Vattel Jackson. So Vattel has her foot deep in it, and Vattel has connections with Judge Terry Weiss. Inside the shelter, they have tainted my air with something called hospiticide, something like that, and they would empty whole cans full, even when we're sleeping, and I can taste it in my throat, on my eyes and my nose, so they're trying to make me suffocate. They made me gag, and they made me get hurt. They got other people hurt at the same time. Now, they try to make me get out of focus. They have my eyes, blurry with tears all the time in my eyes so that I wouldn't be able to read or focus, and they have the lights off all day long. I would like to see my kids. I want conflicts of interest to be out. Now, we have a conflict of interest, which is Terry Weiss. He doesn't like me because he set me up for labor trafficking. He's a big conflict of interest. He's also related to the unemployment referee, A.J. Burkhart. So how do we fix this problem where they are trying to set me up to procrastinate, which I don't. They have swelled up my feet bigger than it's normal. They have had bugs bite me. They have a TV that's set up with big bass and 2 TVs running at the same time all night long, and they have sound torture. As they, when you're in deep sleep, they wake you up or have someone run into you, or they get you bit by bugs. So I have bruises on my legs from their bugs. But sometimes I don't know I'm getting bit because they have the sound, too much sound. You got torture, you're hurting somewhere else. It's too much that they're hurting me with, so it's not right. Now, I got tainted by their food. They gave me raw meat. They tainted my food. I spit up the other day in about half hour, 1.5 pounds of mucus with the tainted food that they gave me. They got people, there's a guy named David Garcia undercover there. He's a relative of Adel Imdad and Ed Murphy of St. Vincent de Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just if you can help this, if you can help me in any way, in a good way, I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Next speaker is Dora Owens.
I just want to say good evening, giving honor to God and to our council chair, and to all of you, and to our county executive, Mr. Stinger. As I want to finish my statement of last week, I left off with the idea that was presented to our legislators in Jefferson City that was proposed by a Chesterfield organization called RGA to deny all Missourians their right to prove discrimination in the workplace. I am, as well as my children, going through that process now. The legislators of Jefferson City denied that proposal from the RGA organization. However, they did pass a bill called the House Bill 214, which is seemingly not transferred into our county of St. Louis. I've had 21 petitions denied by Judge Bravonis in an effort to find my children, in an effort to restore my employment. And I guess I've had an opportunity to go through some of the processes of what our homeless people are going through, purposefully because of the Lord and the work that I've done. But I was charged with trespassing and standing in Washington University trying to buy a stamp, and was able to win the case based on the ulterior motive being I was being human trafficked. I did ask for restitution from Judge Tammons, I believe has, her term is now expired, and I have gone to Judge McShane, who ordered my not guilty verdict. But I have not received any response from the OCDC nor from anyone from the county indicating restitution approved or disapproved or considered. So I'd like to know what I should do from this point. I'm not getting any cooperation from my judges in the courts as to further. And maybe they have. I'm also having problems getting my mail at 63105. So I just want to bring those concerns to you. Thank you.
Thanks,
Next
Dora.
speaker is Yvette Townsend Sanders.
Hello, Happy New Year, everybody. My name is Yvette Townsend Sanders. I've spoke before. I want to commend you. I want to commend you on what you have tried to do with the municipalities to try to give some kind of normalcy and some kind of guidelines. I commend you on that because that's very much so needed. I told you about my experience and how I had been lied on by the St. Louis County Police and how I was scared to stay in my own home, how the police came. I don't want to go back through that story. But every day of my life I wonder, what is happening to other lives? Last week I was here and I listened to a lot of the people talk about getting raises. I've always felt that they should be paid very well because it's got to be a very hard job and a tremendous stressful job. But by the same token, before that's done, there's a lot of work to be done to clean the departments out because bad seeds, I'm sure there are lots of wonderful police officers that give their time, their lives, but there are some bad ones too. And those bad ones are the ones that hurt the good ones. Case in point, when the police came to my home after I had already been lied on, and I knew I hadn't called them, but yet they were there with their hand on my door trying to get in. What do you think I thought? How do you think I felt? What kind of fear do you think I had? And one of these days, if that happens to someone else, that's bad on each side because that good police officer that comes to that door, that didn't tell that lie, that didn't start that trouble, that could mean trouble for that police officer. So what I say to you is continue to do a lot of work. Don't put your heads in the sand. There needs to be a lot done because if we all work for the good, it will be good for all of us.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Tom Sullivan.
Mr. Chairman, I still have questions about the special county audit that was released a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't the forensic audit promised by County Executive Stinger, nor was it completed in the first 100 days. For over a year of Mr. Stinger's campaign, he would mention the audit many times in the promise of a forensic audit. It was even posted on the Steve Stinger for County Executive website in bold letters. The Post-Dispatch refers to the forensic audit as the centerpiece or the centerpiece promise of his campaign. The implication was clear. Vote for Steve Stinger and you will see a super-duper audit that will sniff out any and all wasteful spending and wrongdoing. And the audit was to be done immediately if Mr. Stinger was elected. When the first request for proposals went out last year, the word forensic could not be found. The RFPs were withdrawn and the second was issued, again with nothing about a forensic audit. When the special audit was finally released, this is what it says on the last page. Recognizing that our review is made on a test basis, you will appreciate that reliance must be placed on adequate methods of internal checks and controls as your principal safeguard against errors or fraud, if any, which a test examination may not necessarily disclose. In other words, you could have crooked dealings going on, just like in the health department a few years ago, and the audit might not catch them. So much for the super-duper audit. In interviews about the audit, the county executive always mentioned the big ticket item. There could be $10.9 million in duplicate payments. Of course, there could not be any duplicate payments. Few results of the audit are definitive. The audit resulted in a county print shop being closed down. Mark Reardon on KMOX asked the county executive, what were they printing and how many employees were working there? His response, who knows? The lessons of the past few years are that St. Louis County needs to really think about the controls, financial controls it has in place. Also, what role the county auditor's office should play. The office has only 2 employees and only did 4 audits last year, 2 having to do with golf courses. What should trouble you about the health department embezzlement is that it was such an unsophisticated scam, yet it was able to go on for years with millions of dollars being stolen. When it comes to installing the proper controls and safeguards, county government still has a ways to go. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks.
No more speakers this evening, Mr. Vice Chair.
That will conclude the public forum. We'll move to introduction of bills.
Bill number 7, introduced by Councilmember Dolan for Councilmember O'Meara, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to accept a grant of up to $91,733.73 to the Missouri Department of Public Safety, appropriating same for support of a specialized domestic violence court, and authorizing the county executive to execute necessary documents. Bill number 8, introduced by Councilmember Dolan for Councilmember O'Meara, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute a contract with First Associates Loan Servicing LLC for servicing of loans from the Residential Energy Efficiency Loan Program. Bill number 9, introduced by Councilmember Dolan for Councilmember O'Meara, an ordinance authorizing the county executive and director of administration to execute necessary documents to amend and restate St. Louis County's deferred compensation plan. Bill number 10, introduced by Councilmember Wassinger, an ordinance amending the St. Louis County zoning ordinance and the official zoning district maps by changing the boundaries of the C8 Plan Commercial District and the R2 Residence District as provided herein, PC 31-15, Heritage Classical Christian Academy. Bill number 11, introduced by Councilmember Dolan for Councilmember O'Leary, an ordinance amending the St. Louis County zoning ordinance and the official zoning district maps by changing the boundaries of the C8 Plan Commercial District and the R4 Residence District as provided herein, PC 30-15, Jose Escamilla. Bill number 12, introduced by Councilmember Harder, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute a contract with Crescent Farm South LLC for mutual exchange of property interest in properties located along Lewis Road and authorizing execution of related documents. Mr. Vice Chair, that is all the bills.
Thank you. Perfection of bills.
Bill number 8, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
Please hold.
So ordered.
Bill number 1, introduced by Councilmember Harder.
I move to perfect Bill number 1.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 1 is perfected.
Bill number 2, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move for perfection of bill number 2.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 2 is perfected.
Bill number 3, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
I move to perfect Bill number 3.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 3 is perfected.
Bill number 4, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
I move to perfect Bill number 4.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 4 is perfected.
Bill number 5, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
I move to perfect Bill number 5.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm in favor.
Motion carries.
Pat?
Bill number 5 is perfected.
Bill number 6, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
I move to perfect Bill number 6.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 6 is perfected. Final passage of bills.
Bill number 52, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
Please hold.
So ordered.
Bill number 116, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
Please hold 116.
So ordered.
Bill number 338, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
Move for final passage of Bill number 338.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Leary? Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Vice Chair, on Bill number 338, there are 5 ayes and 2 absent.
Bill number 338 is finally passed.
Bill number 339, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
Move for final passage Bill number 339.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Leary? Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on Bill number 339, there are 5 ayes and 2 absent.
Bill number 339 is finally passed.
Bill number 340, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
Move for final passage Bill number 340.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Leary? Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Vice Chair, on Bill number 340, there are 5 ayes and 2 absent.
Bill number 340 is finally passed.
Moving on to resolutions, Mr. Vice Chair, we have 4 this evening. Resolution number 1, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move for adoption of resolution number 1.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Leary? Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Vice Chair, on resolution number 1, there are 5 ayes and 2 absent.
Motion carries. Resolution number 1 is adopted.
Resolution number 2, introduced by Councilmember Dolan for Councilmember O'Meara.
Move for adoption of resolution number 2.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Leary? Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Vice Chair, on resolution number 2, there are 5 ayes and 2 absent.
Motion carries. Resolution number 2 is adopted.
Resolution number 3, introduced by Councilmember Dolan for Councilmember O'Meara.
Move for adoption of resolution number 3.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Leary? Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Vice Chair, on resolution number 3, there are 5 ayes and 2 absent.
Motion carries. Resolution number 3 is adopted.
Resolution number 4, introduced by Councilmembers Dolan for O'Meara, Erby, Page, Dolan, and Dolan for O'Leary.
Move for final passage of resolution number 4, which is a resolution honoring the loss of Ferguson Alderman, Mr. Fletcher, or ex-mayor, actually.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Leary? Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Vice Chair, on resolution number 4, there are 5 ayes and 2 absent.
Motion carries. Resolution number 4 is adopted.
We have nothing under unfinished business this evening, Mr. Vice Chair, and under new business, we have 1 prepared order.
I move for adoption of order number 1.
Second.
How many were there?
There's 2.
Oh, I apologize, we have a second order I was not hearing.
Orders 1 and 2.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Orders number 1 and 2 are adopted.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Adjourned.